this year we have just as special and just as important work that has been translated in a book form. And it is my honor and privilege, first of all, welcome Vishwaji back. And I have Dr. Deen Chandoraji and Dr. Om Aroraji, who are the trustees of Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple and the founders. So please join me. I would request the tech team to please, Namaste ji, I would request the tech team to please spotlight Dr. Bhupender Gupta ji as well at this time, because this is the moment in all of your welcome kits, you received this beautiful book, Do Behnon Ki Batein. It is my privilege and honor to request Dr. Arora ji, Dr. Chandora ji, Vishwa ji, I'll hold two books here, and I request everybody to please hold up these books as we do an official book release of Do Behnon Ki Batein, translated by none other than our modern Vedic scholar who happens to be a board of director for Arya Patni Sabha and a strong supporter, Dr. Bhupender Gupta ji. Everybody, please hold up your books. It's a great honor that Dr. Chandora ji, Dr. Arora ji are here, and Bhupender ji is there. And I want to thank Dr. Bhupender ji, first of all, for your great work. And may I request Dr. Chandora ji to say two words in the honor of this book, and then we'll do a Q&A with the author, Dr. Gupta ji.
Bhupender Gupta ji, Professor Bhupender Gupta ji, I have met many times, and I think this is the greatest thing we need in our Western Hemisphere. The books of Arya Samaj be translated in English, and this is one of the prime important book for everybody to read. Thank you, Bhupender ji.
I wanted to add a few things here. Little background. Am I audible? Just confirming. So I think in 2016 or 2015, I used to go through a website called satyavidya.org. I think either it's org or com, satyavidya.com. And I used to like the Vedic English content a lot. So I thought, let me inquire, where is this content coming from? And then I spoke to Dr. Vivek Areji or Mr. Vinayji. He said this book is, the English content is coming from the Do Behnon Ki Batein English translation. I said, who has done it? I said, this material is good, but translation needs a lot of work, but it's a good material. I need to contact that person who has done this translation. So then he introduced me to Mr. Vasudev Rao, who in his own words in India, he had done initial set of translation for this book and posted on that satyavidya.org. After 2 years, that website was gone, probably was not maintained, and that matter went away. And then I contacted Vivek Areji again. I said, this is a good book, it's a good content, I need to get it translated. And he said, yeah, go ahead. And then probably we talked to Dr. Bhupender Gupta ji, we are looking for this help. I feel that this work is very important, and this work needs to come out in a very contemporary language that is suited to the Western audience, so that the answers to basic questions about the Vedic Dharma can be given in a very reasonable contemporary manner. I think Dr. Bhupender Gupta ji took some time to give his agreement. He said, if I do something, I do in a style, it takes my own time, but it will come out a great work. So, and finally he agreed. And it was, for me, it was a dream come true. Since 2015 or 16, I was hoping that we can get such kind of work out for the general public. So on a newcomer who does not know much of the Arya Samaj or Vedic Dharma, I think in addition to the Sudhir Anand's books, these are the books that we want to give to those people, like Who is God? Basics of Hindu Dharma. And same way, Do Behnon Ki Batein is a masterpiece that has come out in a very simple language by Dr. Bhupender Gupta ji. So I thank you for ensuring that our thoughts come true. I know it takes a lot of hard work, maybe around 2 years it has taken, or 1.5 years for you to finish this work. But I'm very happy that we have such books. And same way, Dr. Chandora's book, Hindu Centum, is still masterpiece that, multiple editions of that book have been published, and, we don't have any more copies of that book. So such work has to come out and be given to multiple people in the Western Hemisphere for them to know the Vedic Dharma. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Chandoraji, Dr.
Thank
Aroyaji,
you.
and Vishnuji.
Thank
May I
you.
request you to please seated. And
अब आप नीचे जा सकते हैं.
this is kind of the moment
Udhar-
I've been
udhar-
waiting for
udhar taar hai,
last 6 months myself. Dr. Bhupenderji, would you have a couple of opening comments and then
Yes, I must say I am humbled being on the munch with such outstanding speakers. Last speaker, Amarjit Shastriji, and the speakers this morning, and all of them. I mean, there's so much to learn from them. It's humbling to be on the munch with all of you. Thank you so much. I'm blessed that we are in the company of such Mahapurush. They represent the best we have. And they are the ones who will take our country, our world, to a higher and higher level. Anything we can do towards that end, we are a party to it.
So thank you, Dr. Bhupenderji. First of all, I want to thank you on behalf of Sabha, behalf of Vishnuji and myself for taking on this important work. And I've learned through this process that you're one of those few individuals, and I think we have a lot of them within the Arya Samaj community, but who say, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right, and they're going to do it right.
That's
My wife will tell you, I'm a book collector. I'm not a book reader. But having read this text probably about 6 times in the last 6 weeks, and probably twice in the last 48 hours again, just every time I open a new page, I learn something new. Vishnuji said something, we should give this book out to people who are outside the Arya Samaj world. I 100% agree. But I think this is a great reference for all of us,
Yes.
because it puts things in a very, very modern perspective. You've done an amazing job. I truly enjoyed reading it. And so I have a couple of questions for you that I guess, why did you think this book was important to be translated?
Well, my comment would be that we have such wealth of faith-based knowledge available in our native tongue. And even that is expressed in not simple Hindi, but you said scholarly Hindi. So even if our youths and us understand Hindi to some degree, it is very difficult to digest our faith-based literature in Hindi. And I think so, translating some timely volumes that are relevant to our faith into English is a very, very important objective. And I think what you, Vishnuji, did, in trying to identify a volume that touches very effectively on Vedic faith, covered very well in Satyat Prakash, having it translated into simple English, formatting it such it is attractive to our modern reader, I think becomes an additional literature in faith-based, Vedic faith-based unit in English. So I think it was worth the effort.
Great. And I know the effort was countless hours on your parts. I do leave my phone on do not disturb after 11 p.m. But when I see a text come in at 2 a.m. from you, I know you're still working on it. So what do you think was the biggest challenge? I think I know the answer to this, but I want to hear it from you.
I think this is a very important question, Bhuvaneshi. Getting into the mindset of the original author, who is no longer around, Sid Gopal Kaviratanji, and trying to express his thoughts into easily appreciable, understandable English, and also formatting it and presenting it in a way that is attractive to our modern readers, I think was the challenge.
Right.
Challenge lies in translating something which is subjective, faith-based, and without taking the risk of misquoting. Let me just underline that it's very important. The word is one, we all know, Shrutis,
Mhm.
but the faiths and practices are very many. And so one asks the question, what is the reason for that? We have so many faiths and so many practices. Well, translation, interpreting the original pieces into another language. This requires a challenge, and that was the challenging part of it.
Right, right, right. It's exactly what I thought, because I sometimes wonder, how did Dr. Gupta ji, because I consider you the author. I know, I mean, you know, you're the current author of this version, but how do you get behind? You know, it's like watching a drama series. How does the director change you? Change you, plays with your mind, right? So you have to understand the psychology behind it, and the context is very important. And I think you've kept the context very, very relevant. One salient feature of this book, and I really found it a humbling experience working on this with you, which I did not find in a lot of books, is a reference, the reference in the back, which you see in a lot of, but this on page 165, terms of Hindi and Sanskrit and their meaning. I
Yes.
think this is very important. This is very good of a reference point. And this is a companion for a lot of other books.
Yes, yes.
Because we're all in a learning stage. Sometimes when you don't present the Sanskrit word, you lose the essence. So you have to maintain that. And we've, formatting wise, we've italicized those words. But having this dictionary right here without having to Google every other word, it's right here. So thank you for that. One last question, Dr. Gupta ji. What's next?
Oh, well, I think I don't know if I have enough time left in my life, but a companion to Do Behnon Ki Batein. And I'm saying this, whether I do it or somebody else does it, doesn't matter, but a companion can be important. This book touches on many important aspects of Vedic Dharma, emphasized in Satyat Prakash, but it misses two very important pieces. Education of youths is one, that's in chapters 2 and 3 of Satyat Prakash, and also living a life in accordance with the 4 ashrams. That's just talking about Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, so beautifully covered by the speaker this morning, and then Vanprasth ashram and Sannyas ashram. I mean, these are the optimizing aspects of life, how to have an optimum life. Do Behnon Ki Batein covers the knowledge extensively and some practice, but how to upgrade yourself optimally in life. And I think a companion book to Do Behnon Ki Batein, which covers those two areas, I think would be very, very, very important.
Great. No, we certainly hope. I think that's a great segue into your next project. I look forward to working with you on that. And I'm not going to talk about chapter 13 because I think that's going to be highlight of our North Carolina Sammelan. So I'm not going to talk about it right now. But please, everybody, that's your homework out of this book for the next Sammelan. Come prepared for really lively discussions and really good speakers, which have been referenced in this book. So again, I really appreciate all your hard work and dedication on this book, Dr. Gupta. I think the cover came out beautifully. I know your friend drew this picture on a very short notice, so thank you to her. And I know we have some of the publishing team. They worked really hard on this too. So I appreciate everybody's work in getting this work together. And then my promise to you, Dr. Gupta ji, this book will be on Amazon in next 2 weeks in Kindle format and available for sale on Amazon. So that's a question you asked me, and we'll work offline on getting that done.
I may just add
Sure.
that every bit of the profit from this book will go towards promoting Vedic values. And so the education of our youth, supporting our Arya Samajes in the country and programs all over the world, that's where all the profits on this book will go. I hope the book will sell extensively.
It
with that
certainly
vision.
will. You know, every time I go to India, I spend a lot of time going through flights at the airport, and the book stalls and everything is my favorite place to hang out. I never see a book on true knowledge of Vedas.
Yes.
This is a candidate right here, and we're going to figure out a way to get that book on the booksellers. So thank you again, and thank you everybody. Please do take the time to read this. Dhanyawad.
I want to add a couple of things before I let you go. To request to everyone, see, the effort of author has already been done. Our effort starts now. We have to start studying the book and then referring the book to our friends, extended family and relatives. पुस्तक का लाभ तभी है जब उसको पढ़ा जाए और प्रचार किया जाए. डॉक्टर गुप्ता जी ने कहा कि सारे इसके माध्यम से जो भी पैसा आएगा वो वैदिक वैल्यूज के काम में लगेगा. पर पैसा आएगा कैसे? जब हम पढ़ करके प्रचार करेंगे, 10 लोगों को बोलेंगे कि भैया ये किताब बहुत अच्छी है, जाकर के पढ़ो. हम 40 समाजों के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव यहाँ बैठे हैं. If every Arya Samaj says कि I'm going to get 50 copies of this book, same way 50 copies each of Vedic values book that Dr. Sudhir Anand wrote, ultimately Samajis has to create the demand for the publications that are Vedic and are tuned to the community here. If we together do not create the demand, how the author is going to be motivated? तो हमें ये लेना है कि हम 500 प्रतियां तुरंत लगवा दें, 500 की डिमांड क्रिएट करें, हर समाज 50-50, 100 प्रतियां को ले और अपने मेंबर्स को बांटे. That's the takeaway we have to have so that we can create the demand and popularity of the book. That's how we give the Vedic values. We talk about कि मंत्र बहुत मुश्किल है, संस्कृत समझ में नहीं आती. अरे भाई इंग्लिश की किताब है, वो तो बांट दो, राइट? तो हमको वो किताब बांटने के लिए प्रयास करना चाहिए. ऑथर के प्रति यही सच्ची श्रद्धांजलि होती है और ऑथर को नेक्स्ट कार्य करने की प्रेरणा भी इसी से मिलती है. और डॉक्टर गुप्ता जी, आप कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं, आप 2-3 किताबें और लिखेंगे एंड इट विल कम आउट ग्रेट, राइट? वी विल कंटिन्यू टू डू द गुड जॉब by by means of Bhuvnesh getting it printed. We'll make sure we get it advertised as well. And 2 people I wanted to call out who have helped us in the proofreading, etc. Acharya Hari Prasad ji and Acharya Suyesha ji in Seattle. We had given them the draft copies of this book. They gave some suggestions, and we have tried to incorporate them, of course, with the agreement of Dr. Gupta ji. So they have spent reasonable time to review the book and give their valuable inputs. So Suyesha ji and Acharya Hari Prasad ji, we thank you. But again, my request to all of you is read the book, spread the word, distribute the copies. Birthday gift में book दीजिए. ऐसी चीज दीजिए जो घर में रहेगी, पढ़ी जाएगी. आपके घर में शादियां हैं. पुराने जमाने में हमारे घर में आर्य समाज के लीडर्स में शादी होती थी, वो भक्ति दर्पण की किताब बांटते थे. मतलब 500 आदमी आया है तो 500 फैमिलीज को वो भक्ति दर्पण की किताब मिलती थी. सत्यार्थ प्रकाश बांटते थे. वी हैव गॉट दोस बुक्स इन द वेडिंग गिफ्ट. तो हम लोगों को नए नए प्रैक्टिस शुरू करने चाहिए कि हम वैदिक वैल्यूज को कैसे किसी के घर में डाल दें. तो उसके लिए सभी को थोड़ा थोड़ा प्रयास करना चाहिए. और ऐसी किताबें हैं, 4 बुक आप नोट करिएगा. हु इज गॉड, बेसिक्स ऑफ हिंदुइज्म, 2 बहनों की बातें एंड हिंदू सेंटम. These are your 4 books. You want to make sure that they are lying in every person's home, and we all can do that job. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you जी. सविता मुखी जी ने आर्य समाज लॉन्ग आइलैंड की तरफ से 25 बुक्स कही हैं. वीर मुखी जी ने, उनका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और किसी को भी बुक्स चाहिए हो तो प्लीज बताइए. उसको प्री ऑर्डर करेंगे, उसको सुपर हिट करेंगे, उसको सब जगह बांटेंगे. That's what our goal is. Okay.